the print media, and she has covered the news with an outside the Beltway perspective. Let me see here. TV correspondent, CW6 News, San Diego, One America News Network. She is everywhere, and I'm telling you right now, she's streaming live at Periscope.com, Facebook, and YouTube. I think it's Facebook. Kimberly, how are you doing, lady?
Yes, I'm doing great. And yes, I am on Facebook right now, streaming live for anybody who wants to see our expressions as we discuss the daily news here.
All right. Well, you are everywhere, aren't you?
I try.
Well, and you know what that means. You better be very careful, because, yes, because you're everywhere and everybody sees you. So there you had your warning.
Yeah,
hey, I got to ask you before we get into the pardon for the Oregon ranchers. Did you watch any of the supposed House committee hearings today?
Yeah, I was able to catch some of the testimony today, and this is typical Congress Democrats. I guess now the party of war with Russia, and the Republicans, maybe not so articulately asking questions that they want answered regarding the Mueller investigation and Peter Strzok's alleged interference with the investigation to skew, towards the Democrats' point of view rather than going at the investigation. Because obviously there was a lot of bias there, and yeah, no question whatsoever. But that he's able to tell his side of the story today. Tomorrow we're going to see his partner in crime, so to speak. She's going to come on and be questioned by the Congress. And today it's just kind of been a big circus from what I've been able to tell, because
thank you very much. Yeah. My exact words, Kimberly, that's a circus. You know what? I was actually ashamed, and on both parties, but the main thing is that I'm sure I'm prejudiced, because I'm a conservative, but the way the little Democrats, when they keep interrupting, call for order, and then the people around the guy who's saying, let's get, surrounding Nader and all the others, they all had to do their little laughs and giggles, and then they go and start holding up the pictures, and I'm thinking, this is shameful for America. You should be able to have a House Oversight Committee, and a decent, and the thing I am so sick of, and I've been this way forever, is I don't care what side, but when they say, I can't answer that because it's an ongoing investigation. Wow, I have gotten sick and tired of hearing that. Finally, they got over that hump. But it was a circus. Yeah. Shameful circus.
It absolutely was, and it is an ongoing investigation. But the questions they're trying to ask, the GOP trying to ask Mr. Strzok, are questions that he has put in print in emails that are already public, and he's still refusing to answer those questions. So it's already out there in the public sphere, but he's trying to hide behind the ongoing investigation, which there is an ongoing investigation. And typically, we don't want to go through an ongoing investigation and tip the bad guys off to what's going on. So, I mean, it does have its place. I mean, we can't be, out giving the other side. In this case, they believe it to be Russia. So far, we haven't seen any collusion whatsoever. They're trying to come up with something, but, it's just, they make a mockery of our country, and there's no reason for anybody to interfere with our election process. If these are the people that are running our country, I think it says a lot.
I don't think the chambers are the place where you come in and hold your pictures up. They certainly got their point across, though, and like I said, a picture's worth 1,000 words. But and then when Strzok said, well, I think this whole thing is a victory for Putin, I said, oh my goodness, and I've taped the whole thing. I'm going to force myself to watch it again because I didn't have time to follow the whole 3 rings, I guess you call it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I wasn't able to watch the entire thing either. Yeah. There's a lot of conflicting testimony from what I've seen in some of the replays on social media. So, there is that there as well.
Well, Kimberly, we're coming up on our break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss Kimberly's latest posting, okay? And it's Trump grants clemency to Oregon ranchers involved in the standoff with feds. Very interesting story, and you got her. It's the KDReport.com. You can go there and get all the stories. Also watch this report that we're doing. A little later on, it'll all be posted right there for you. About 26 wonderful minutes at the KDReport.com. Be right back. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante to see memorabilia, movie stars, and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. The art of the great masters in an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old. Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares. The romance of Romeo and Juliet. Find our mystical room of the moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, and make all of our sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. Pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, all you can eat, just $21.95. And Angelo's and Vinci's has been named the best Italian restaurant in Orange County 2 years in a row, and our owner has been named Restaurateur of the Year. Angelo's and Vinci's, Fullerton, California, 714-879-4022, or angelosandvinci's.com.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
You experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheff, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drshef.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheff developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheff has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheff at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drshef.com. That's drshef.com, 310-873-4422. The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares. First or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane ticket. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane ticket. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines. And you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644. Everybody is
Yeah, I'm here. Your music is going on and on and on.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was saying, yep, there you are, black and white and blonde, live on Facebook. And I noticed Raymond Herrera, a great immigration fighter, it's his birthday today, and he's tuned in also watching you there. Now, let me ask you on this latest release, it is not written in black and white, telling presidents the way they conduct a pardon, but it seems like Trump, being the Trump he is, is a little bit different, all right, when it comes to pardon.
Well, he talks with his attorneys, and he's following the law correctly on these situations. And he feels strongly that there's been some injustices in the past. Some of it has been recent in the last 3 or 4 years, and some of it has been like 20 or 25 years old. But the president has sought continually to come out and defend the people that elected him. And, and looking at people who have this, have these incredibly long prison sentences that don't necessarily suit the crime. So he's out doing this, and he's been working with the Kardashians apparently on some of this, but he's looking at criminal justice reform with prisons and having people get out of prison and not go back to crime. And these are all good things for our country. And it's something that he decided that he's just going to go and let people know that look, if I see it this way, I went on the campaign trail and all these people told me about all these people, and I listened to them and I looked into it, and these people were okay, and this one I'm not really going to touch. But he's open to that. Most presidents do wait till they're lame ducks and there'll be no political retribution whatsoever. But Donald Trump is not like a conventional president. And I think that for the most part, he's enjoying a similar, number in the polls like, President Obama had at this point in his term. So he's doing something effectively. I know the media seems to go after him an awful lot, but he seems to be doing something right if his poll numbers are right, right there the same with Obama. So it's just, it's getting filtered out, and he's using social media to get that filtered out.
Well, the left constantly says that President Trump is trying to undo so many things that Obama did. And when it comes to these ranchers, the Obama administration is the one that decided to go against the original jury, right, in the judge's hearing. And it all boils down, well, I'll tell you what it boils down to. It boils down to Agenda 21 and property rights. They don't want you to own property. Yeah. So apparently they're burning off some bad grass or whatever on their ranch, and it creeps across the line into so-called federal property, and that's another issue altogether. Mm-hmm. And it, sort of scorches a little bit of land, and so then that's their excuse to go after them, right? Yeah, well,
the Obama administration had been looking at the Bundy family for quite some time. And, as you know, Chuck, we've talked about this, the Southwest, and even up into Oregon, Washington, the cattle industry relies on grazing through these federal lands because cows require a lot of grazing acreage per cow. So they rely on the government to do this. Now, under the Obama administration, they were land grabbing, and they were dedicating all of this stuff as national parks, and they were taking a lot of this land away. And a lot of these families have been on this land for at least 100 years, if not longer. And they take these permits out with the federal government. But the Obama administration began revoking some of those penalties. And then the farmers simply could not afford to go buy hay to feed all the cattle. And so ensued this whole, uproar that started really with the Bundy Ranch in Nevada, where they took away quite a lot of acreage for their cattle. And it percolated, and it got a lot of attention and led to the 41-day standoff up there in Oregon, and unfortunately led to the death of one of the ranchers. So it was a process that played itself out, and currently the family of the rancher that died have 2 lawsuits filed against the federal government for wrongful death. And most likely the government will settle on these cases, as it has in the past, and they'll settle with a non-disclosure agreement. meaning the family will never be able to report anything, what the settlement case was, how much money the family's got. They're seeking anywhere from $20 to $70 million from the government. They won't get the high number, but they will get some because the government will want to protect the FBI, curiously, is kind of under a microscope right now today, and protect the local law enforcement. So that's the likely outcome for this, and you're going to see a lot of these policies where the land was taken away is already being reversed under President Trump. He's allowing these farmers and ranchers to go back and use this land. That was one of his big priorities out of the gate. And he's actually, with Ryan Zinke, he's been successful in doing that.
Well, there is so much involved in the land because, like the Bundys, right now, his whole case is on the fact that the federal government was not allowed to come in there, and occupy 85% of the state of Nevada. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's
here's
what they were
another
doing.
thing, and you said, yeah. And speaking of, that today the FBI is under the microscope again. So during this standoff at the refugee, there was this FBI agent, Joseph Astarita, I believe is his name, Astarita, and allegedly shot rancher Robert Lavoy Finicum when the officers arrested the leaders of the occupation. Well, then later, he denied that he fired the two shots and pleaded not guilty.
Yeah.
Here we got the FBI connected again. It's not Ruby Ridge, but it's close enough, right?
You know what? It's very eerily similar. And I encourage the viewers and listeners right now to go out if you're interested in the story whatsoever. There's a really good documentary that came out about this maybe roughly a year ago. And it actually used the live footage that they were getting from drones, and it was footage from cameras inside the vehicle when this group of individuals were leaving the land and going to turn themselves in, and then were forced out of their vehicle, and